I'm not gonna do my intro, but I'm gonna leave some side notes. This video could have been more convincing if I actually have an angry man's voice, but unfortunately I do not get angry that often, or I barely even get angry in real life, so I don't have that voice to make this video sound more convincing than it should have been, or what I wanted to sound like, to make it more compelling of an argument. And I know I'm gonna upset or maybe have some people hate me in the Soredemo Ayumu community, so but to be honest, it's kind of all of your faults anyway if you're gonna be triggered by this one. So let's just gotta start the video. So the number that's gonna live in infamy. Oh, before that, this video is gonna be ad-libbed, mostly ad-libbed, and I'm not gonna edit this one, and I'm just gonna go straight and just talk and talk and talk, and I may miss more points than I would have liked, but this is also an important side note. There are also people in the Discord servers, in the Harmless Monsters and the Yaotome Hub servers, that actually share the same sentiments as me about my side of this controversy of the chapter, of the happenings that's been going on for a month now. And chapter 166, the chapter that's gonna live in infamy for no solid reason, the most controversial chapter that this community has ever seen, or even the author maybe, probably. And it's honestly so stupid. It's so stupid that I even making this video in the first place, because it shouldn't have been this bad at all. Yeah, when I read it, I was like, oh, Will's confessing. Oh, okay. I haven't published that video, but I was like, oh, Will's confessing. So what's the plan for the future now? So I think people are gonna hate it. I was right and wrong about that last statement. People hate it. No. People are outright outraged. Like levels that I can't even comprehend. For what? For not fulfilling people's expectations? The point of the matter is, the reason why we have such an messy community right now because of the chapter is because of people's expectations. It's all of your people's faults to begin with. The reason why you're angry and people are angry is because people expected something big than they should have. People expected too much. On what? I think all of you are forgotten that the general consensus that I think the average person or people or manga reader or just Japan culture enjoyer that involves Japan entertainment like manga and anime is that Soredemo Ayumu Yosetekuru is average. It's nothing special. It's not like your Attack on Titan, Naruto, Death Note, or whatever popular series that I don't watch or read, because it's not my type. It's not my taste to watch popular ones. But I think all of you are forgotten. This is an average average Roman slice of life series. It is not that special. This is just average. I think all of you are forgetting that this is average. It is not special. It is not in any way or any form that much different from others. I'm sorry, I was cut off. Back to the point. It is not that different to others. How can you expect something? How can you put empty expectations into something that's not possible in the first place? How can you treat it like it's so special that it deserves this kind of controversy in the first place? It's average! Average! What's special about this? It's not that different from others! It's different, a breath of fresh air from Yamamoto's series, from Yamamoto Sensei's works. Yes, it's the freshest breath of air. But how about the other Roman series? How about the other Slice of Life series, huh? It's not that different! But I think it's because how the character Rin is used that people are angry, or it's a waste of space. Oh my god, what are they doing? What is Yamamoto Sensei thinking, adding a character that people to this day still hate since her introduction? And I get it, if you still hate her with the passion. I get it, actually. I get that. I'm not gonna say anything about that because I get it. I do have that kind of thing with the WWE tag team staple, The New Day, since they've been on WWE TV, but in recent years, it's just, I respect them, so I don't even have to like them to watch WWE nowadays. But for years, yeah, I get it. Even when they're faces or the good guys and portrayed as good guys and people cheer them, I still say New Day sucks. But it's kind of relevant to that point. But the point of that is, let's go back to Rin, because from the way I see it, if people are angry at Rin, I think they forget how important Rin is, or they don't realize how important Rin is. And I think Rin is doing her work perfectly, or at least the original purpose, and the other things that she's doing is just extra. Either it's good kind of extra or a bad kind of extra. If you get it, and then you get it. If you don't get it, then just try to understand what I meant by that. My point is, she's doing her role perfectly, and that is to be the sacrifice from day one. Because in works like Steven Universe, the plot twist that everyone thought in season 1 was kind of far-fetched actually happened in Steven Universe since season 1, since 5 or 6 years ago, was planned from the very beginning. That plot twist. If you don't watch Steven Universe, then I don't know. I don't know any anime-related examples for that. But my point is, her purpose was to be the sacrifice from the beginning, and I can kind of understand if that's the plan from the start, is to be the sacrifice, the sacrificial lamb. For what? That is to be the instigator of the Ayumu x Urushi ship, for them to actually be closer. And I think she has done that perfectly. And if you're gonna tell me, oh, what about the best wing woman ever, Maki? Yeah, Maki's the best wing woman ever, but she's not capable of achieving the feats and the things that happened when Rin was introduced. Because Rin is a direct competitor to Urushi for Ayumu's affection. And Maki is not, or may not be, or ever be that kind of person to trigger that events, the series of events, and series of series and emotions for Urushi to actually realize her feelings on chapter 108, and for them to actually have progress in the first place. I don't know really why people are angry in the first place. Are these gonna be the same type of people that are gonna complain that there's actually progress on Takagi-san? If they're Yamamoto fans? To actually further enlighten and explain on why Rin being a sacrifice is beneficial and necessary for the series, I have actually 2 points that I want to talk about. One being a further explanation on why it is necessary, and two, an example on a sacrifice helping and actually making somewhat of a sense. Firstly is, the point is, there are things in life that we cannot do alone. Even me, as someone who likes to be alone and prefers to be alone, most of the times there are things that we can't do alone. There are things that even when we try to, we cannot actually do things alone. Either from lifting physical things, physical heavy things, and also emotional things and other things that people can see and people cannot see. We actually need help on those. People need help sometimes. Even the people who don't ask for help needs help eventually. And Rin is help, but not really the people would expect the kind of help that they ask. Not really the best way to help, but the best way she can help is being a sacrifice. And being a sacrifice, she is. And has already done her purpose well, which actually insinuate the fire, and the flames, and the passion that might ensue between Ayumu and Urushi. And if you're telling me that, oh, there's Maki to do that, oh, please. Even though I completely agree that Maki is 100% the best wing woman ever on any series, on any platforms, she can't do it. She can't do it. She can help nudge and actually help here to there, setting up some few setups and scenarios. Ayumu being already in love and Urushi not realizing she actually is in love after chapter 75. Maki can't help with that. Urushi needs to feel somewhat threatened, or actually needs to feel lonely enough. Example, the school trip arc, to feel that he likes Ayumu, and he can't do that without Rin. There's a chance that they can, but I doubt it. But if they're gonna do it that way, it's gonna take far more longer than when Rin actually is involved. When Rin is not involved, we're not seeing chapter 108 and 108. It's actually gonna take much, much, much longer. Even in Ama no Megumi, it took them 200 plus chapters, or at least Manabu, to realize that he likes Megumi, Ama no Megumi. And that's with also some... Oh no, it's a bit different, but it's kind of similar, but it's actually Megumi beating around the bush so much, but it's actually gonna drag further if there's no other rivals. Case in point, my second point, on which it actually helped Komi-san. Because I saw someone point out Komi-san in the discussions in the Discord community, and I think Manbagi actually helped. Because if Manbagi is not there, Tadano would cockblock his own feelings forever. if Manbagi wasn't there, if Manbagi wasn't a threat to Komi in the first place, and if Manbagi didn't help Tadano realize that Tadano liked Komi all along, then none of this would happen. And yeah, there was a chance that he might go out with Manbagi before Manbagi actually felt guilt and actually helped Tadano realize his own feelings. But without Manbagi, where will the story go? Even if there are many people that like Komi, that many people, how many actually see Tadano that way? 2. Komi and Manbagi. If Manbagi didn't exist, then it's still a slice of life series with little romance, or no romance at all. Side characters, sure, but the two between Komi and Tadano, nah, I'm not seeing it. But the difference is, Manbagi actually can fall in love with someone else and actually has 2 potential love interests that can take the spot, while Rin doesn't have even one. In Manbagi's case, it was Wakanai, that new one, and Katai-kun. Those 2. But in Rin, no. That's kind of one of the arguments there. Rin having no one to fall back on except food, while Manbagi has 2 potential love interests. But it's not even clear in the manga if Manbagi is leaning on a particular person or even one of those 2. But yeah, Rin cannot function. Rin can function properly, and that's being a sacrifice and helping the series progress. Even if she doesn't get anything in her end, she has to happen somewhere along the line. She has to happen if we're gonna see progress. There are some series that actually don't need some, but it actually depends on what type of characters they are. And I think there is a chance that I might see that in Hiragi-san, but I actually think not. But there's very little chance. But with Soredemo Ayumu Yosetekuru, Rin being the sacrifice is actually the best choice for the series. Endure the suffering for the greater cause. Ayumu x Urushi. It's kind of stupid to think actually, because at least we have progress in Soredemo Ayumu Yosetekuru, unlike anywhere. The closest thing to progress that Yamamoto fans have is Furatsuki no Kyoko-chan, which has progress due to unfortunate circumstances, due to a certain teaser. But really, oh, there's one more. Ayumu on that chapter. Ayumu's reaction, that's making it weird. And I get it. I actually get it. I actually find it weird in the first place. But the truth of the matter is, it's not false hope that he's giving. And people think Ayumu's giving false hope to Rin because she confessed. And Ayumu's like, oh sure, do whatever you want. Like, oh sure, you can love me, but I think you know I can't love you, but you know that? Was my low voice captured? Was my low voice captured, like, let me repeat it, like, you can do whatever you want, you confess to me, but you can do whatever you want. I'm encouraging it, blah blah blah. What? No. I actually think it's weird for him to act that way in the first place. But when I take a closer look, I'm actually giving Ayumu a benefit of a doubt. Because I don't think that's what Ayumu's reaction is. And I think Ayumu was just misunderstood by the community because it is clear how he likes Urushi practically 1 or 2 chapters later. The one where he meets her parents while jogging. And so, how am I gonna explain Ayumu's behavior? Well, I think someone mentioned it, actually. If someone mentioned it, credit them. I'm gonna credit them. I forgot their name. If it is that person, I don't know. There are many persons, actually. On this divided community, I'm actually one of the people that think it's stupid, but I'm actually doing diffusal work, actually damage control work. And I think it's because Ayumu doesn't know how to act. Yeah, that's the issue that people are gonna bring up. How to act to that. Because I don't know how many of you all have been in relationships or even have a girlfriend. I can tell, actually. But how many of us have been in that situation with Ayumu? I think it's probably 0 to 1. It's probably gonna be that one miracle person, maybe. But most likely the answer is 0. The least wildest thing, 1. And I think it's not even Ayumu's fault if people misunderstood him. It's just, how are you gonna react to that? It's basically the way he treats Rin. He treats her like a sister, almost like a family member, but a sister. So, what are you gonna do to someone who likes you, but you don't like her that way, but you do like her as a sister or as a close person, as a close friend, a really close friend? There are other series with things like that, with childhood friends not winning. It's common, and with the same plot and story type progression, or the things that have led upon. It's common, actually. And I read someone, it may be common, but it's not good. Good point, actually. But what are you gonna do? It may be common and it may be not good, but it actually garnered emotions. It garnered interest. It garnered talk. It garnered intrigue. But this is controversial type intrigue. Noise. The bad kind of publicity. It gained publicity, even though it's the bad type. But how is Ayumu supposed to act? Tell me, how is Ayumu supposed to act if Rin is that precious to him? Even though it's not clear how close they are, or how close Ayumu thinks about Rin, or how deep her affection, or somewhat sisterly affection, or friendly, or even as a close person is. It's not even established. So how can we judge? Or how can we entail? How can we say anything if we don't even know the story? It's actually crazy to even think that I'm making a video about how stupid this is. I actually forgot some points, but it's not Ayumu's fault. Though, I think it's just really misleading. Ayumu is just misleading to the fact that it's not even intentional that he's misleading, because we don't even know how he's gonna act. We don't even know how are we gonna act on that. And if that's his best response, then be it. but to the point where people think that Ayumu is leading Rin on disappointment and whatever that word is, suffering. Yes, suffering. The word suffering. I think it's Rin's fault, to be honest. And I think people are arguing it's because of the character things, and it's not realistic. Oh my god, even though they kind of have a point. I actually think it should be more like how characters would act, and now not how we should expect them to act. Because from that perspective on, Yamada-sensei is actually doing fine. They're acting like they're supposed to, except for Urushi after 108. Because I kind of think of it, it's somewhat cute, but somewhat annoying. And that's coming from a diehard Urushi fan. Saying they made it in love, it's kind of really. My impressions were really. That's how she's gonna act right now. That's how she's gonna act now. But really, honestly, people are putting too much expectations. For what? Actually, what? What are we gonna achieve with those expectations? It's not deserved. And you know what? Talking about expectations, I think if we're gonna point out how big of a how I'm a super fan of a series, and do I have any expectations, or are you gonna point out my expectations for the series? Actually, my expectations died on chapter 108. My expectations died on its peak, on its best, on its highlight. For now, up to chapter 170, its best, its peak, its prime, my expectations died with it because I don't want to repeat the same mistake that I did with Steven Universe. That is to take it for granted. Because I kind of think that Steven Universe will continue on and on and on, when it ended 2 years ago. Steven Universe ended in 2019, and Steven Universe Future, the sequel, ended in 2020, March 2020, or April. And why my expectations died? It's because I want to enjoy this series for as long as I can. Because it's not... Steven Universe may have left, but this is not my replacement for Steven Universe. But this is the closest thing to the emotions that I have, and the passion, and the dedication that I have. The closest thing to Steven Universe, and maybe even more because I'm making videos about it and I've never done any for Steven Universe. The point is, those expectations are kind of misplaced or stupid. And it's all of your faults anyway. As a super fan, mine died. Because I really do love the series, no matter if it's in a good direction or in the bad direction, like it's happening according to people, statistically. I will still stick with it, no matter what, unless it has done something so demonic that I will leave it in a heartbeat. And it doesn't, and it hasn't had done anything like that. It doesn't do anything that controversial, or controversial at all. Because those are types of controversy that actually should be recognized. Not this! Not bad storytelling! And it's actually stupid to even think about it. Because people forget this is an average slice of life moments! And it's not even worth it to be mad. Well, talking about contradicting. I think I have forgotten more points, but I think there are people in the Discord community, in the servers that I have mentioned earlier, that gonna have the same sentiments as me of how stupid this is, and it's just based on all of your expectations. And if all of you hate that, or if all of you are gonna leave or gonna drop the series like someone in the community did, then leave! We fans don't need you here. You can leave! Well, you can come back, actually. You can come back, but leave if you don't want to. Leave if you can't handle this. Leave if this is too much for you. Leave if you're not even that big of a fan in the first place. Leave if you don't really like the series because of chapter 166. Leave if you like the series and lost respect and its adoration or disliked it up to chapter 166. Leave. You can come back, actually. And that's what I would do if I have any fans. If they're gonna be douchebags. Or sometime in the future, that's gonna be a topic for the future, but leave. Leave. We don't need you here. Leave. We can enjoy our series in peace. We can just read peacefully. Like we're all supposed to. Just leave. 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 We don't need you here. You can come back, sure. But if it's because of this, if this chapter, that has caused this much turmoil because of people's expectations, then leave. We don't need you here. We don't need you here. We can just enjoy the series and be happy without you. We don't need you. We don't need your misplaced expectations. Just leave. But in conclusion, this is stupid. This controversy is stupid. And the expectations are stupid. And I'm not supposed to even talk about this in the first place. But it's getting out of hand. I need to do something. So just enjoy the series like you're supposed to. Good or bad, if you really like the series. Just enjoy it. If you're a fan of Yamamoto Sensei, just enjoy it. Don't have any expectations, or at least have some expectations. But do not misplace them. Just enjoy. Just enjoy. It's actually stupid how many times I've said stupid in this one. Because it is stupid. And it really is. Just go. That's it for me today for this issue. No, that's it for me for this controversy. See y'all next time. Peace and God bless y'all. This is so stupid.